everyone's being baited with this question as if somehow that has anything to do whatsoever with running for president. And my position is it most certainly does not.
The scramble is on for politicians of every stripe to get ahead of the Confederate flag story in South Carolina. And at the same time, watch closely as various members of the media might be leaving in the dust some important facets of the story in order to stay on a signed message. Let us then clear the dust. Welcome back the co-host of the Daily Wrap here on Newsmax every weeknight at 7 p.m. Eastern. Also pop culture reporter for the media website Mediaite, Joe Concha. Joe, always a pleasure, my friend. Just curious, right off the box, what do you think of the media coverage thus far of what's happening in Charleston?
I think it's been disgraceful. I got to be honest with you, Ed. How this has gone from a demon. Somebody called Dylan Roof a demon, and that's exactly what it was. A demon went into that church and killed 9 innocent people. And how we've gone from that to we really got to feel good about ourselves, so let's get rid of the Confederate flag. And look, I'm from Jersey, all right? I don't care about the Confederate flag. I don't think about it one way or another. I know I watched the Dukes of Hazzard growing up, and I'm pretty sure that had a Confederate flag on the roof, and that was the #1 show, and no one had a problem with it. But now that's the entire focus of this whole thing, and you're right, it's become this litmus test for all these presidential candidates. Would you get rid of it? They asked Scott Walker, he's from Wisconsin, like he has any skin in the game there, and he's being criticized for not giving a real answer. So, Ed, bottom line, the fact that we just have to feel like we have to do something, since Dylan Roof is so far gone, and obviously he's going to either be executed or go to jail for life, we have to find something else, a boogeyman, a scapegoat, and in this case, it's a flag, and if we get rid of it, we're going to feel better about ourselves. But guess what? Another shooting is going to happen, and it's going to happen whether there's a Confederate flag around or not. That's the bottom line. Well,
interesting, too, how with all the flag furor that has gone on here, let's see, Amazon has pulled them, eBay has pulled them, Sears has pulled them, Walmart has now pulled them as well. Walmart's the most interesting, seeing as they're based in Arkansas, a southern-based company. But let's be real honest here. It wasn't as if the Confederate flag was making anybody rich. It doesn't make a difference where you have it. It was, what, a $4, $5 item here and there. So it's not as if they're making this monstrous social statement that's really going to impact their bottom line.
Yeah, and it's not like it's the KKK flag, right? It's the Confederate flag from a time back in the 1800s of Southern pride, and I guess, again, I'm not from the South.
Well, it does. Let me stop you there, because here's the one thing that's interesting on it, Joe. We did a little research here, and it turns out that actually the flag that they're using right now, that flag itself, was the second Confederate flag, if you will, and it was created by a guy who wanted to put that X, right there, we're showing it on the screen, on a white background. That was the flag. His reasoning was the white flag and the white background showed the white superiority over the African American. Here it is, William T. Thompson, who said, as a people we're fighting to maintain the heaven-ordained supremacy of the white man over the inferior or colored race, a white flag would thus be emblematic of our cause. So if you want to get right down to it, the flag does have a racist connotation to it as it began, and I think that's what everybody is pointing to at this point. I think they're trying to bring it to the fore.
Sure, and look, if you want to take it off of the South Carolina, off the Capitol building, then fine, no problem with that. But again, that shouldn't be the focus here. The focus should be on mental health. You want to talk about guns in a certain capacity, all right, fine, even though, it was gifted to Dylan Roof, so I don't know how you prevent that from happening. I don't know what law in the books would have prevented him from getting a gun. But those are the two things that we should be focusing on. Or maybe focus on the fact that you have a Republican governor in South Carolina and a black senator in South Carolina who are really doing a great job here, and the people of South Carolina have been tremendous in terms of no protests, no blood in the streets, everybody coming together. That should be the story. Instead, we're focusing on this stupid flag, and if it goes away, again, it makes no difference one way or another. It's all about, honestly, I think it's a way to try to connect it somehow back to Republicans, even though no one seems to be asking Hillary Clinton about the Confederate flag in Arkansas.
But Hillary Clinton hasn't said anything about it. There you go, Joe. Hillary hasn't said anything about it. She's keeping nice and quiet. Listen, minute that I have left here, I wanted to throw this one at you. Piers Morgan, who I have absolutely no respect for whatsoever. I just want to go ahead and point that out right out of the box. Here he is coming out. He's trying to remain relevant again, saying that, let's face it, white people who use the N-word should be in jail. And this after President Obama went on a podcast and basically used the word. Let me see. Really enlightened, if you will, Piers, because now you want to basically say that a government can slap people in jail for saying a word.
Yeah, and I want to know if Jay-Z gets to go to jail because I believe he uses the N-word in a lot of his songs. In other words, why only white people? If it's offensive, the word, then who cares where it's coming from?
Right.
That part I don't quite understand. And you're right, this is just Piers trying to say, hey, look at me, I'm on America's Got Talent again, and I lost my CNN show. Will someone listen to me, please? I'm relevant. I'm over here. You hit it on the head. That's all Piers is doing in this situation.
Yeah, let's remind you, please, Piers Morgan, you're not relevant, you're not enlightened, you're not anything that's going to tell anybody anything that we really need to know. And by the way, you failed at what you did. So thank you very much. There you go. That moves on.
And you're not invited, apparently, to Ed's 4th of July party.
You are not invited, and you're not getting. I'm off his Christmas card list. There you go. Don't forget the Daily Wrap weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on Newsmax. And then, of course, don't forget the Daily Wrap, Newsmax Prime, and then the Hard Line follows right here on Newsmax. Mr. Concha, always a pleasure, sir. Talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Eddie. Have a good one.
Take care. Telling it like it is next. Common sense on the Confederate flag issue when we continue on the Hard Line.